Hi dear students, today we are going to see the subject science, unit 3, lesson fluids. Let me continue the same lesson, fluid. Okay. So next we have to see the topic is floating and sinking. Whether an object will sink or float in the liquid is determined by the density of the object is compared to the density of the liquid. Okay, if the density of the substance is less than the density of the liquid, it will float. For example, a piece of wood which is less than the water, so it will float on it. Any substance having more density than water, for example stone, it will sink into it. Okay, so the density is less as compared to the liquid. That liquid is water, consider. So it float that. Okay, it is more density is compared as water, it will be sink. This is known as floating and sinking. Is it clear? Next one, problem 5. You have a black mystery material 12 cm long, 11 cm wide and 3.5 cm thick. Its mass is 1155 grams. What is its density? Will it float off a tank of water or sink? We know the formula for solution is mass by volume. So divided the mass by volume, we get 2.5 grams by centimeter cube. Okay, so the mystery material is denser than the water, so it is sink. And next topic, applications of principle of flotation. Okay, we have the first application, hydrometer. A direct reading instrument used for measuring the density or relative density of the liquid is called hydrometer. Hydrometer is based on the principle of flotation, that is the weight of the liquid displaced by the immersed portion of the hydrometer is equal to the weight of the hydrometer. Is it clear? The hydrometer consists of a cylindrical stem. Look at this picture. It has the cylindrical stem having a spherical bulb at its lower end and a narrow tube at its upper end. Okay. The lower spherical bulb is partially filled with the lead shards or mercury. This helps hydrometer float or stand vertically in liquids. The narrow tube has marking so that the relative density of the liquid can be read directly. The liquid to be tested is poured in the glass jar. The hydrometer is gently lowered into the liquid until it floats freely. The reading against the level of liquid touching the tube gives the relative density of the liquid. Is it clear? So the hydrometer may be calibrated for different uses such as lactometers for measuring the density of milk, saccharometer for measuring the density of sugar in a liquid, and alcoholometer for measuring the higher levels of alcohol in spirits. Okay, these are all the application and uses of the hydrometers. And next we have to see the lactometer. One form of hydrometer is a lactometer. This instrument is used to check the purity of milk. In dairies they are used the lactometer to measure the purity of milk. The lactometer work on the principle of gravity of milk. The lactometer consists of a long graduated test tube with a cylindrical bulb with the graduation ranging from 15 at the top to 45 at the bottom. The test tube is filled with air. This air chamber causes the instrument to float. The spherical bulb is filled with mercury to causes the lactometer to sink up the proper level and float in a upright position in the milk. Okay, inside the lactometer there may be a thermometer extending from the bulb up into the upper part of the test tube where the scale is located. The correct lactometer reading is obtained only at the temperature of 60 degree Fahrenheit. A lactometer measures the cream content of milk. More the cream, lower lactometer floats in the milk. The average reading of normal milk is 32. Lactometers are used at milk processing units and dairies. Already I tell that. Okay, in dairies they use it to measure and check the purity of milk. They use the lactometer. And next topic is buoyancy. In last video we have to see about the topic is buoyant force. The pressure differences causes a force on the object and pushes it upward. That force is called a buoyant force, and the phenomenon is called as buoyancy. Okay, most buoyant objects are those with a relatively high volume and low density. If the object's weight less than the amount of water it has displaced, the buoyant force will be more and it will float. Such object is known as positively buoyant. Okay, but if the object weighs more than the amount of water it has displaced, that is known as buoyant force is less and the object will sink. Okay, that object is known as negatively buoyant. In simple word, the buoyant force is more means the object will float, so it is called positively buoyant. The buoyant force is less and the object will sink means it is the negatively buoyant, that is known as buoyancy. Is it clear? What is buoyancy force? When a body is immersed in a fluid, an upward force is exerted by the fluid on the body. This is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body, and it is called the force. That force is known as buoyancy. So what causes the buoyant force? The buoyant force is the force of an object exerted by the surrounding fluid. When an object pushes water, the water pushes back with as much force as it can. If the water can push back as hard, the object floats. For example, boat. If it's not, means it will sink. For example, steel. Is it clear? And next topic, Cartesian diver. Cartesian diver is an experiment that demonstrates the principle of buoyancy. It is a pen cap with a clay. The Cartesian diver contains just enough liquid that is barely floats in the bath of the liquid. Its remaining volume is filled with the air. When pressing the bath, the additional water enters the diver, thus increasing the average density of the diver, and thus it sinks. Which means it floats means the remaining space will filled with the air. When it's pressing means the additional water enters the diver, that increasing the average density of the diver, so it will be sink. Because it sinks means it fully covered with the water and small amount of air only it have that. Is it clear? And next one, see the picture. This is name Eureka. What is Eureka? The meaning of Eureka means I have found it. Do you know who said this? The word said by the Archimedes. He's a Greek scientist, astronomer and physicist and mathematician. Okay, Archimedes principle is the consequence of Pascal's law. According to legend, Archimedes devised the principle of the hydrostatic balance after he noticed his own apparent loss in the weight while sitting in his bath. The story goes that he was so enthusiastic and his discovery that he jumped out his bath and ran through the town shouting Eureka. Archimedes' principle states that a body immersed in a fluid experiences a vertical upward buoyant force is equal to the weight of the fluid it displaces. When a body is partially or completely immersed in a fluid at rest, it experiences an upthrust which is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. For example, see the picture. First one, an object is lowered into the container of water. The second one, the object displaces water which flows into a small container. And third one, when the object is completely submerged, the volume of displaced water is equal to the volume of object. Okay. So, the upthrust acting on the body is apparently loses a part of its weight, and the apparent loss of weight is equal to upthrust weight. See the picture. So weight W1 equal to the true weight of the object, and W2 the amount of water displaced in the another container. Okay. So the upthrust is equal to the weight of the water is equal to the fluid displaced. Thus, for a body either partially or completely immersed in a fluid, the upthrust equal to weight of the fluid displaced equal to apparent loss of weight of the body, which means in simple words, see the picture. So the weight of stone is immersed in the water means the weight of the stone is equally displaced the water in the outer container, another container. Is it clear? So that is known as Archimedes principle. And the apparent weight of an object equal to true weight of an object in air minus upthrust, which means weight of water displaced. Is it clear? Next one, laws of flotation. The weight of floating body is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body. First point. And second point, the center of gravity of the floating body and the center of buoyancy are in the same vertical line. Is it clear? The point through which the force of the buoyancy is supposed to act as known as the center of buoyancy. Okay. For example, see the picture. This boat mass is 1000 kg. The boat is less than the dense of the water, so it displaces a mass equal to its own instead of sinking. And center of buoyancy, the point through which the force of buoyancy is supposed to act is known as the center of buoyancy. Is it clear? Flotation therapy uses water that contains Epsom salt that is rich in magnesium. As a floater relaxes, he or she is absorbing the magnesium through the skin. Magnesium helps the body to process insulin, which lowers a person's risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Okay, is it clear? Okay students, in this video you learnt about the topics sinking and floating and applications of flotations like lactometer and hydrometer, buoyancy, Cartesian diver, Archimedes principle and laws of flotation. This lesson was completed. Okay, thank you.